What's up guys, how you all doing? I am back again for a version 2 of my Trakker Tempest Bivvy tour. Now earlier in the year I did one when I was back at this same location here in France, Etang Des Landes. At that time it was spring, we're back in autumn, and as you can see the surroundings are completely fitting for an autumnal time of year. Looks absolutely stunning, and a lot of people really enjoyed that Bivvy tour that I did last time, so I'm going to do another one right now because so many people have watched it. Now this time around I've got an extra bit of kit. Now in my van this time, the Bang Bus Mark II, there was only 2 of us, so I had a bit more extra room because last time there was 3. So this time I actually brought my barrow along with me. Now I like to fish from my barrow, so I leave all of my stuff on the barrow, and whenever I need something I just go over to it and access it directly from there, and that means that I can just move around a little bit easier and things are just that much more simple. Also it's just a lot more mobile. Obviously when I get my gear out of the van it's all set up already on the barrow. I just wheel it down a plank and I am good to go. Now you can see here this particular barrow is the Prestige barrow, it's the Power Porter, and this one is completely motorized. Some of you who watch my vlog channel already will have seen it. This one's got this is actually the 24-volt version, so this one is ridiculously powerful. Lasts for a very long time, and I'm overall very pleased with it, despite the fact that obviously it's fairly expensive. Now on top of that, one of the best things I've ever bought for my fishing is the Trakker barrow cover. Now this is literally just a waterproof cover. It goes completely over the barrow, and if you've got a rod bag on there as well, I've got 13-foot rods and even they go under there in their carryall, so no problem with that whatsoever. And if you want me to, I'll probably do a barrow tour as well, just to show you how everything's set up on my barrow, all the different bags and stuff that I use as well. But that cover for the barrow is fantastic because it means that if it pisses down with rain, you can instantly cover up all of your gear all in one go, and all at a very cheap price, and it works fantastically well. And in fact it hasn't even aged. I've had this for quite a while now, and it really does do a fantastic job. Definitely highly recommended. The barrow itself, you can see on the front here, down there we've got the motor, and then on the other side we've got the battery for it. Now here's my Trakker Tempest Bivvy. This is kind of the star of the show, if you like. It has got the external wrap on it, so it's a twin layered bivvy, which means that basically you don't get the condensation that you do from all of your breath and heat and everything like that, body moisture, from a single skin version. And when it gets chilly in the night times like it does here, it just adds a little bit of warmth as well. Round on the back of it there's a couple of vents which you can roll up in the internal bivvy and also the skin itself, so if it does get warm then you can easily open that up and let a whole bunch of airflow go through as well. Just sitting on top of there is my Trakker towel which I use for obviously drying up my hands. Round on the front here we've got some straps which enable you to put like your marker rod and your spod rod in there. You can see I've got my marker rod and my spod rod in there ready to go, and also when you're tying up rigs and stuff like that, if you're sitting in your bivvy you can just hook them straight in there. So this is how I've got it set up, nicely tucked away there under the trees. And in fact, one of these trees here, this one above me, is an oak tree. So there's constantly big acorns falling out the tree and smashing around, and the bivvy has dealt with it nicely. Although I've had a couple land on my shoulder and one on the head, which isn't fantastic. But that's how I've got that set up. And then as we move around over to here, I've also got some pussy with me. And then over here, I've got all of my rods set up as well. Now these are actually new rods for me. I've got the spod rod and the marker rod to match. These are the Century C2Ds. So these are 13-foot rods, very powerful, 3 3/4 pound test curve, and that is because a lot of my fishing at home is kind of done at fairly long distance, and I just like to have the power in the rod should I ever need it. And then here we've got my Shimano mag reels as well. And at the front here we've got my customised Delkim alarms, all with my names and also covered in carbon fibre stickers, sitting on some Century carbon fibre buzz bars as well. And then you can see my lines going out there, and that beautiful tree just sitting over there, absolutely stunning, really does look beautiful. And I'm in the boathouse swim because the boathouse is right there. But I absolutely love these rods, love the carbon fibre finish, love the little red trim on them as well, quite understated. I used to have the C2s before this, and they had a kind of triangular section here to put the reel into, but these ones have gone round so you can hold them a bit easier, and they've also got a bit of tapering at the end there, so you can really get some serious power behind these. And at the moment I'm fishing at just over 100 yards. So back over here to the bivvy. Got my mate over there, Gal, and then Pete over there in a further swim. In fact, before we do, let's just take a look at a couple of bits over here that I use quite a lot. Here we've got the Trakker boilie holder, and I like this because you can separate all the different kinds of boilies out and allow them all to kind of air dry, so you don't have to worry about them all getting mixed up or store them in bags or whatever the case may be. So that's really a great product as well. So back over to the bivvy. As you can see at the moment, everything is all kind of locked down on the front here, nice and neat. I've got my spod rod over there, marker rod over here, and let's get into the bivvy. Really easy to open. You can just pull that up, pull that one up, and then fling it over the top there. And as an instant kind of look into the bivvy, I know lighting is going to be a bit difficult here. This is kind of what it looks like. The only thing that annoys me is the way that this mat folds up here, the ground sheet. But I believe that that's an error with the stitching, so I might try and get a new one of those. So first up, you've got my Trakker bivvy mat, which means that you can kind of tread on that when you're all wet and muddy and you don't have to get any of your ground sheet dirty, and you can just clean that off nice and easy. So as we go inside here, first of all, over here on the side, you've got my little kind of table, and on here I've got various bits and pieces. First of all, down on the bottom there, in that old Shimano bag, I have got a full-size car battery. Now that car battery I use to plug a cigarette lighter into, and that means that I can charge every one of my devices, and that will literally last a whole week. Plus it powers those red LEDs as well, which mean that your night vision doesn't get messed up, and you can leave them on all night, and it just gives you a faint glow so you can see what you're doing without actually interrupting with your sleep. So they work great, and that would power that for probably years and years and years. All of this is sitting on a bivvy table. Let's come in here and see if we can get some better lighting. So on the bivvy table here, this particular bivvy table, I'm not actually sure the make of this, but I've glued some spirit levels in the front and the side here, so you can get it nice and flat when you're trying to use it. On the front here, I've got some of the action cameras that I'm testing at the moment. So we've got this one here, which is the Drift Stealth 2. I've actually got another one over there on a tripod here, which is the Ghost S, also made by Drift, and they're really, really great cameras. I've been enjoying using those. Got another one here, got this one which is the Dasny P3, which is a Chinese make, and then we've got this one from Kit Vision as well, which is their top of the range action camera, and that is a really, really great bit of kit. I'm just going to bring some light over to try and help. And in fact, this light here, this is a light by Ridge Monkey. It's called the Bivvy Light Duo, I believe, and this has got two light settings. Dim and really bright. It's USB chargeable, it's got a lithium battery inside it, and also you can change it to red as well, so it doesn't mess up your night vision. So that's a really great little product as well. I've been really enjoying using that, and it does last an exceptionally long time. Now over here in the corner, I've got a couple of battery chargers, portable battery chargers. I've got my favourite one, which is the Swiss one, 25,600 milliamp hour. Next to that, I've got another 25,600 milliamp hour one by Anker, which again is a great one just for charging up all of your mobile devices and being able to carry them around. Got my daily driver there, which is my iPhone 6 Plus. Next to that, I've got the Galaxy S6 Edge, which I use all the time for various bits and pieces, especially a bit of kit that I'll come back to a little bit later. And then also behind there, I've got my buzzer alarm for my bite alarm, so I can get remote indication. In the corner there, I've got a little clock thing which tells you the temperature and various other bits and pieces. An iPhone 6S normal. And then here, I've got a speaker from Kit Sound, which is their little Hive speaker, which is just a little Bluetooth speaker. It's tiny, the battery lasts forever, and the sound quality is absolutely fantastic. So another great product from Kit Vision there. Kit Sound. Down here on the floor, a couple other bits and pieces. I've got a Trakker Gadget bag, and I've also got their bed tidy as well. In there you can just keep all the kind of really important bits and pieces, and that just hangs from the bottom of your bed nice and securely. And then the actual Gadget bag itself, in there I've just got loads of cables and adapters and all kinds of different stuff. I've also got another portable battery charger in there as well. Just all my kind of little bits and pieces that I like to keep just neat and tidy, packed away. Now the bed itself, I've got two Trakker pillows. I think they've brought new ones out, so I need to get those. And then here I've got a Fox sleeping bag. Now this Fox sleeping bag, I forget the name of it now. I think it's called something like an Evo Tech something. I don't know what it's called, all weather or something like that. But essentially this sleeping bag is made up of 2 sleeping bags, one inside each other. And you can either have the inside bag as this kind of smooth polyester, which I like because you don't grip to it when you're tossing and turning during the night, or you can flip it over and you can have the fleece one. So you can sleep in any layer. You can sleep in the top layer, the middle layer, or there's another 2 underneath as well, so you could have 3 on top and 1 on the bottom. It's completely up to you. Very, very configurable, ridiculously warm. I've literally used this in -10 and been absolutely fine. And then another great little accessory, my Fox FX hot water bottle. And this is great because what I do is I slide it inside that middle layer there, slide it down the sleeping bag, and it literally warms up the entire bag, and that works fantastically well. And then on the top I've got another layer here, and this is just a kind of waterproof cover, just keeps everything nice and tidy. If you want to lay on your bed, for example, and you don't want to take your boots off, you're not going to get your sleeping bag dirty, so that just keeps that all nice and tidy and adds an extra layer of warmth as well if it's really, really cold. Laying on the bed here, I've got my little case here from Snug. Now inside this case from Snug, I have actually got my 12-inch gold MacBook in there, which I use for a lot of the kind of my working when I'm away from home and stuff like that. And then in addition to that, round on the back, that's why I like this case, I've also got my iPad mini 4 as well, the new one that's just come out. So that's a nice little setup there, very, very mobile and portable. Now this is my favourite bit here. This is the iPad Air 2, and this is just attached on an arm. So when I'm laying in bed here, I can just really easily put this on, watch TV, stream Netflix and do all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to hold your tablet or be uncomfortable or anything like that. Really, really great solution. And in fact, just tucked behind over there, I've got what we call a bed buddy chair, and that means that you can just basically pick that up, put it on your bed, and you've got a nice seat ready to go, and you're not sort of flopping around in your bed. Now over here I've got my Chubb chair, and on the Chubb chair I've got various bits and pieces here. First up, I've got my O-Tone headphones. These are wired, but they're also powered as well, and they're really, really great value for money. Now next to that, I mentioned earlier about the Galaxy S6 Edge. This is something that I've really started to carry everywhere with me when I'm traveling, and if I can get this out, forgive me here, one-handed holding the camera. This is my Samsung Gear VR. So these are virtual reality goggles. You put the Galaxy S6 Edge in the front there, and then you can basically watch like movies and a whole bunch of different things, play games, and the movies, you know, it's literally like you're in a full-size cinema, so you get a really nice experience. You can kick back in the bivvy and be somewhere completely different, plus a whole bunch of interactive stuff as well that's included. And then yet another Trakker item, I've got my Trakker camera bag, and obviously I put my camera in there. I'm using the camera right now this moment, and this one is the Sony RX10 Mark II. But that is it, guys. That is my view out of the door there. Very nice indeed. The pussy is following me around everywhere. Oh, a couple of other things. Got my Trakker hat up there. I'm not sure the light is going to kind of agree with us. There you go, you can see it there. And then I've got this, which is my LED Lenser torch. Now this is a head torch. It's got its own inbuilt battery, and it is fantastic, ridiculously powerful. And in fact, there on the floor as well, I've got some Capri Suns, and also my Bivvy heater as well. This is a Coleman Black Panther, I think it's called, and it runs off of propane. I haven't used it on this trip as yet, but if it was to get ridiculously cold, that can give you a nice little kick of warmth. But anyway, guys, that is it for this year's Bivvy tour. I will be back hopefully next year with the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. Please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.